But yeah, so you weren't at the track.
No, not this weekend.
What were you doing? Anything cool?
Working.
Working.
Like a lame-o.
Oh, that does.
Trying to make money to afford my hobby.
That does kind of suck. So you blew a motor though?
It's not fully blown. It still runs.
Oh.
I got it shut down just in time.
Okay. Perfect. Nice.
No, we haven't torn it out of the car. It's still sitting in the trailer because neither of us have time to do anything with it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's time to fix the 604 that's been sitting upstairs for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah. Okay. And how easy is it to pull a motor out of the mod?
It's almost the same as like a non-wing car almost.
Okay.
I'd have to say you're unbolted from the transmission and motor mount and some miscellaneous wires and everything else, and the header's off, and it'll come straight up and out.
Okay.
So it's not terrible. I think me and my grandfather had a motor torn out in like 30 minutes. Can't put it back together in 30 minutes.
No.
Because it never lines up with the trans right in 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's got that slip joint, and then you gotta crawl underneath the cart or have the car jacked up and twist the rear end until it slides into the rear end.
Yeah.
Or into the transmission on the coupler.
Yeah.
So it's kind of almost the same thing like a sprint car sliding into the drive shaft.
Yeah, except we usually unbolt it from the torque tube from the rear end, so that we can turn it to get in the sweet spot. Yeah. Yeah. Because I was just thinking that. I'm like, yeah, actually, is like, yeah. Wow.
If you jack the rear end up, you can twist the tire, but then you gotta have somebody watching
to make sure that it doesn't.
Yeah, because we bolted it together and it was like, that's not right. And then come to find out, the coupler is like in there, like cockeyed, and they're like pushing like this.
Yeah, so it's coming up instead of in. Oh man. What's up, Autumn? Thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome back to another episode of the Bench Racing Podcast, presented by K9sforyou.org. So check them out if you are want to support a rescue or want to foster or adopt. Check out K9s for You, all letters, K number 9 S number 4 letter U.org for that. And Autumn is trying to think here of my words. I was going along with my conversation and I lost it. I did a Michael Scott. I wanted to tie in Autumn because I feel bad because sometimes I forget to mention her a lot, and she's on the team. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, thank you. She tagged the link there. So thank you, Autumn. More professional. Tonight we have Morgan Sheppard, modified driver.
Yes, sir.
So thank you so much for coming out. And then priority information before I forget. We have a bed build with Sleep in Heavenly Peace at Wilmot Raceway September 14th. More details to follow. And we're also going to be, as Crane Racing, hosting a bedding drive. So there's over 500 kids in Kenosha County that do not have beds or a pillow to lay their heads on. So Sleep in Heavenly Peace and Bay Nelson are great because they are, every day, they are knocking that number down further and further. So stay tuned for more information on that with discounts and all that stuff because we're trying to work with the track to really make sure that we can push it really good.
It appears Autumn has tagged you in that as well.
Yep, boom, Autumn. Yeah, they say Johnny on the spot. I think it's Autumn on the spot. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. What's up, Lily? And so we have a good show. We're going to be talking to Morgan Sheppard just about, not racing Morgan, and then we're going to top off the show with our Wilmot champion predictions, because a lot of classes have 2 to 3, but there's only one that have 1 left, and we're going to be talking who we think going into the last few races who can steal the championship or defend it, their points lead. So with that, and Scott, yes, I melted the butter. And I still have your sheet here, left nut. Just so that, he wrote that.
Oh, jeez.
Because he was on the last episode, and I was talking about how my dad said he'd give his left nut to drive a sprint car.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
What's the cost up to?
Yeah, one left nut.
133,000 or something?
Yeah,
whatever.
For like, World of Outlaw. USAC, yeah, it's probably about there. So Morgan, do you have a girlfriend? Are you married?
I am married.
Single? Oh, you are married. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's probably not watching this because I'm going to die with daggers through
Oh, man.
So, I'm married to my wife, Brittany, back in 2020, and I made horrible decisions that mixing race cars and horses, horsepower should have gone hand in hand, right?
Yeah, it should, yeah.
Yeah, it just make money go.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Horses are expensive.
Yes, they are.
So, is it like I mean, I'm an uncultured swine when it comes to horses. Even though my brother rides horses, is it just for like a pet, or is there other?
So
ways?
she used to train professionally on the side, and then she's had horses. She runs barrel racing.
Okay. So ties in with racing.
Yes.
Okay.
So that we used to support that, and we used to haul after racing. We'd drop my trailer, and we'd be off going to a different place or a different town racing with her horse.
Okay.
So barrel racing.
Yeah. Nice. And then, is that something where like she has like that horse for like the whole life of the horse, or is it kind of like a race car where you're like, this one's clip is bent, let's get a new one?
There's a couple that have gone down the road with some bent clips and some very unnice welds.
Yeah, the right rear's got a little wobble.
Yeah.
Okay.
That bent rim didn't look that nice.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so she's still doing that?
So we have put that on hold right now until she looks for her new race car.
Her new race car.
Yes. Okay. So she's moved to running a business now. So she has a women's boutique Western wear.
Nice.
So she's chasing that dream. So.
Okay, and where's the shop located?
So it's a mobile boutique out of a trailer. So we're working from home, but we're traveling to these different shows to sell to these equine facilities and stuff like that.
Okay, so this is not just like you go to a farmer's market.
No, not to a farmer's market. But you can buy this stuff online. We have it all. So
plug it.
SM Designs on Facebook. Look it up. Support my wife. She's sports racing. It's goes hand in hand.
Nice. Yes, it does. So you said you got married in 2020?
Yes.
What month?
It was. Oh boy.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm trying to think. It was October.
Oh, October. That's
October
right.
3rd.
That's right. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, nope.
Took me a second to put me on the spot.
Yeah, sorry. It's one of those things where you're like, oh no, I'm on the spot. I can't think of it, and then you panic mode and you can't think of it more. Yeah. 2020 is a good year to get married because there's nothing else going on in the world.
Well, yeah. Everybody's schedules were free.
Yeah. Because we got married on August 7th, 2020. So, and we were actually just talking about that too, like before you got here. So that's why I'm like, oh, 2020 again. That keeps popping up today. All right. And if for our listeners, if you have any questions, feel free to comment, and we'll ask Morgan, or he'll answer for Brittany. Maybe if that's more towards that.
That's dangerous.
All right. So your number 04.
Yes, sir. 04.
Why?
Well, my grandfather started 03 many years ago. We'll just go with that.
Okay.
And I don't even know why he picked 03 to start with, but it was always one of those things that if I ever got a car, I was going to be 04 because I always followed in this man's footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
And he always did something cool. He's still doing something cool that I don't even know if I could achieve at 81 years old.
Yeah, I think he's the oldest driver, right?
I don't know. If not, it's really close. That's still in...
He's 81.
He's 81.
Right now? Okay.
Right now.
81 years old, driving a modified. Whew, let's go. I want to follow that man's footsteps.
I have a hard enough time chasing him sometimes. Yeah. I gotta try to beat him because I don't want an excuse when we go to breakfast on Sunday of, I beat you.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah, so 04 is good. And then for those that don't know, you ran a Lightning sprint?
Yes, I did. I ran a lightning sprint. Oh gosh, is that
2016?
Yeah,
It's the night you flipped.
Yeah, and then I bought another car from the Branhams.
Okay.
If the Branhams are watching, thank you very much for all your guys' support, because if that didn't happen and they didn't come through with a car, I would have been doomed.
And possibly not even racing by now.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were, the mini sprints as a whole group was phenomenal to race with. It's a lot of brotherlyhood stuff, that parts came from everywhere to get a car together for me, and then I went and got competitive and then started beating them with it.
Nice. Yeah. That's a great.
And then I was dumb and I went and sold it.
Okay, yeah, so I didn't realize, because your first night in the mini sprint was the 2016, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because that was my first night in a sprint car.
Yeah, in the non-wing sprint car. Yes.
And I remember kind of talking to you before a little bit, and then I saw your thing on the record, and then I'm like, okay, he's a rookie. And he flipped it. Oh no, my hot laps are next. Oh no. So you ran Lightnings all of 2016?
I ran 2016, 2017, and I think another 2 more years past that. And then a dumb decision was, we had another modified sitting in the back garage, and I just pesterized my grandfather why we couldn't put it together and make it a whole car and go racing with it. Why I couldn't run double duty one night.
Yeah.
And I did. I ran a modified in the mini sprint, and the same night the grandfather was like, "You're crazy," and I'm like, "Well, yeah, it kind of runs in the family."
yeah. I mean, you're not saying if you're 81 and still jumping in a modified.
Yeah. And I ran 5th in the modified with having almost zero, skills with it or drivability, because it both handle completely opposite of each other.
Yep.
I'd rather run a mini sprint because there's less adjustments, and it seems like there's grip where the hockey pucks don't turn very well.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a ride to modified just one time. Like, I want to experience all the classes at Wilmot, but like that, I think the modified is the one that I'm just like, that's not just like jump in and like throw it in there. Like, there's a lot more to. And they say sprint cars are high tech. Modifieds of late models, that's a lot.
We should have pulled up a picture of what the rear end adjustments on the modified is versus what you guys can do with a sprint car.
Yeah, all we do is time the bird cages forward or back. That's it.
Yeah, we got holes that are like this long by this wide, and you just for bar angle on both rear ends, and that doesn't include on top of the rear end is on top and low for the 4-link. Is also adjustable. That's just in the rear end.
Yeah. And then you got the thing where the left rear sucks in.
Yeah, and then you got the J-bar adjustment, which pushes it in and out, and it goes up and down depending on drivability.
So I would assume that that's more like for track and motor more or less? Like track shape versus like how tacky it is? Or is it...
For the J-bar, it has to do with traction, as far as I've always understood. But it's like speaking in Chinese when you talk to these guys that know all about these cars, and you go, well, that little bit made sense, and this little bit made sense, and so let's put them together and we'll make it work.
Yeah.
And then you go out and you try it, and then all of a sudden, magically, the car doesn't turn out of the corner. Like, whoa, I went the wrong way.
So then you come back. All right, guys, remember what we did? Yeah, go back and then go the other way, because if that's wrong... It's got to be
the other way.
Yeah. Autumn here. Should I be taking notes on these modified adjustments? Yes, please. DC here. Winner chicken dinner. What's up, Sean? How you feeling? Haven't seen you at the track. Hopefully you'll be coming out soon. We miss you. Yeah. So man. Okay. So we kind of jumped ahead there.
Okay.
No. It was good. It was good. No. Because I'm gonna go that direction, then we'll go the other direction. Just like we were talking. So why? Because you're talking about the J-bar and all that stuff and the geometry underneath there. Because like with the sprint cars, you change stagger throughout the night.
Yeah.
You change obviously your shock valving. You can change your wheel offsets and stuff like that depending on how the night's going. I don't see modified guys.
We have offsets.
I mean, I'm assuming offsets, but like you guys are like, it just seems like the car sits there as like Because
you get the good guys that get down to a science, and it's funny with Rob Mull. You should get him on here. Mm-hmm. But Rob Mull, you watch that man. He go look at the track and go, "Yup," and go back to his car. That's what we need to do. Just put fuel in it. That man could wheel anything, and he'd be like, "I got the setup to the track." He's like, "I know what I'm doing, and this is what it needs. It just little increments of fuel change it, or one shock." I've ever seen him really change anything. And it's like, I'm over here like scramble up and down. It's like, but when you start doing that, you're chasing the car instead of racing the car.
Yeah.
So then you're hurting yourself because now you don't know why you changed or what you're changing.
Yeah.
So you change minuscule stuff to get your adjustment.
Yeah. Because like we park in the back 40 and Crowbridge parks back there. Like I never see that car up, and they're like not like it doesn't. Like, that's why I'm like wondering like. Is it or modifies like once you have all those adjustments, but once you get it into your box, you change it all that much? Because like sprint cars, you're changing it constantly.
So typically, from what I know of a lot of the guys, is they find a happy medium of a setup, and then it's either a shock change like you guys. But the modifieds are so finicky, and when you start changing bars and bar angles, you start messing with the whole geometry of the whole car. It's not just going into the corner anymore now. You might be ruining coming off the corner.
Yeah.
Or it might be ruining how the car hooks up on the left rear tire or the right rear tire. Mm-hmm. And with Joel, I swear to God, that guy lives in his garage. He tinkers with it at home. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah. He's Boomer. He's Boomer. He'll just fall asleep.
That man won't talk to you about nothing, but you bet your ass he's in the garage and he's watching it all.
Yeah. I mean, it's a whole unfortunate thing with Scott Bloomquist passing away because of the small plane. But like, I've listened to his podcasts that he's been on, and man, that guy is like, I'll just go out in the shop at 3 a.m. because I want to work on the car, and I'll fall asleep underneath the car thinking about stuff, and I'm like, I can do that. I sleep in the car though. I need to be in the car.
Staging.
Staging.
Great nap time.
Yes. And I'm gonna make this pun, but it's gonna be funny. So you gotta wait. Like it's always bad. I've always thought it's bad to follow the modifieds in staging.
Oh, okay.
But let me tell you,
I'm waiting for the yellow comment, the red comment.
That's it. I cannot, Saturday night, I was in the car for 35 minutes, and then I was just thinking, like, under one of the yellows, I think it was, like, with, 4 or 5 to go, or 6 to go, or whatever, I'm like, we're the new modifieds. I was just like, man, we're just, modifieds, they take so long, but I'm like, yeah, we're taking way longer.
Yeah.
And we had no reds. Which I would almost prefer red, because at least with the red, then you can just sit there in the car and loosen your belts a little bit.
You don't have to constantly finicky.
Down the straight, and you're doing this, and then you're looking, and they're telling you to tighten up, but you can't tighten up, because if you tighten up, then the car in front of you is chugging, and then they're taking all your air, and it's hot air coming out from behind them, going into your radiator. And
modifieds are the same way, because they'll tighten it up, and with being a reverse clutch, so we push in the clutch to make the car move. So in a regular everyday car, to get a car to move, you got to let the clutch out. Okay? For us to get the modifieds going, you got to push the clutch in, and it'll gauge the transmission, and we have it in low, so we have a 3-speed. Okay, so you're gauging in low, and you got to pick up the throttle so it doesn't die, right? And you get up to a certain RPM. I always just listen for it's somewhere around 4,000 or 5,000 RPM, and it has to be high enough. And then you got to hurry up and ram the thing in gear to go into high gear, and then the clutch doesn't work. Now it's in direct drive in the transmission. So then we turn into sprint cars. But we can bump them back out and go back into low going in. But when you're trying to go into the corner and you're setting for the corner, the guys like to be goofy, and then they're brake checking each other, and the motors.
They're just trying to flood the motor.
Yeah, exactly, and so they can get their launch, and it's just.
I take back everything I've ever said about a modified spinning out now.
It's not as easy to recover, because if you're lucky enough that you are in mid-slide and you go, well, the hockey pucks didn't hold me this round, so I might as well bang it out of gear and hope that the motor stays running, and then you hope that the guy's looking past his hood pins that are coming at you.
Yeah.
And if everything goes smoothly, you can get it in the low and step on it.
Yeah. Wow. That is... Okay, yeah, see, and that's why I love the show. You get to talk about stuff, and you're like, I didn't realize that. I thought everyone drove it like a street stock, where it's just, well, I knew it was a 3-speed.
Yeah.
Like, there's low and high and all that stuff, but I didn't think, like, the clutch was in, and then the clutch doesn't work. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so the clutch does nothing. After it gauges into high gear, it's just like a sprint car. You'll
kill the motor.
Oh, yeah,
stop. Okay.
And if you're not careful when, I don't know how about sprint cars, because I never actually put mine fully together. But when you go into the corner, if you jam the brakes hard enough, you can kill the motor on the modified. And you better hope to God that it's got enough momentum that it'll relight the tires.
Relight the tires?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And me and Jason Worth were just talking about that happened to him a couple weeks ago. They went into the corner in front of me, and he went in way too hot, and he was hard on the brakes. It died. And the guy behind him hit him, and restarted, and the poor guy spun out behind him, and it's like... Oh, God.
Man. Oh, jeez. I'm looking to experience modified. I mean, I was just always worried about, like, in a sprint car, if you ever feel the left rear come up, like a modified, and get it on the right front. Like, that's the toe curler where you just, everything you tighten up and get ready. Hopefully it comes back down. What's up, Mike Babbitts? Sorry.
Hi, Mike.
Wanted to say that before I forgot. Yep. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, so... Another question I have pertaining to specifically the modifieds. Why? I think I can piece it together now.
This is dangerous.
Yeah, I can piece it together now. But why, when cars unload, do they have the cape on the back?
What do you mean the cape?
On the back of the car, because like the body's not like there's no bumper on the back of body panel.
Yeah.
But a lot of people put like banners back there for.
Because they don't want you. Because all that rear end, if you look behind modified, you can see where their bolt holes are if you really want to get technical.
Okay.
So if you stand behind a modified and look in through where the Nerf bar bumper is, and if you look into the wheel well on the side where the tire is, you can see where their bar line up, you can see where they're bolting weights on, and people don't like that. They don't want to give away an edge that they've maybe found, and I've found some sweet tricks by following guys. I had a car in front of me, and he was from up north, and this was a couple of years ago, and he jacked up, and I'm like, that's a funny place for a lead weight to go, but hey, you know what? That might not be a bad spot to try.
If it works, it works.
Yes.
Okay, I was kind of piecing that together with what you're saying about all the adjustments in there, and I was like, I think that's where it's going to go, but I wanted to ask. I always call it the sponsor cape, because they always have their sponsors. And I mean, it's a good advertisement.
No, it's the wife's skirt. We can just call it the wife's skirt.
The wife's skirt. Okay,
it's got some speed secret.
Speed secret, yeah. What's up, Rod? Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hi, Rod.
All right, so we'll kind of break away from that the modified questions here, but I have when did you know you wanted to start racing?
Yeah, it's been forever.
Forever?
Okay. And the worst part about it is forever was I worked on my grandfather's car, finally got of age where I wanted to drive it, and I couldn't drive it. He wouldn't let me drive it. It's like,
that's the worst.
I got to maybe pull it out of the garage and put it in the trailer. Like, that was like a V back in. And Gramps was like, if you want to race so bad, you need to go buy your own car. And so I bought a mini sprint, and I thought my grandmother and my mother were going to fall over dead. I found one in Kenosha that probably should have, it was an old Bishop car that was non-down tube. And so we took it to MS Chassis over by us, and they put down tubes on it.
Okay.
It worked great until I broke it.
Yeah. I mean, all race cars are doing that, right?
When you ride over somebody's left rear with your right rear, you know you're in for a ride.
Okay. Yeah. We can talk about that.
I felt that one. It feels like a nasty washing machine.
Yes. Flipping a sprint car. I'm assuming the mini sprint's gonna somewhat feel the same, but like it's just really weird.
Yeah, and it's very violent. At first, it's silent. At least for me, it was silent. It felt like
you got the brakes on.
Everything was gone at this point. It was just like, dear God. And it finally came to a rest, and the motor was still running. and it was wide open. And I got enough to reach up to shut it off, and I'm like, oh man, we got a lot of work to do. And the last words out of my mouth was work, and my brain was like stuck on it, and then I couldn't breathe.
Oh.
And I panicked. And I'm in the car, and I'm like this. I'm like, I can't fucking breathe. And Chad Slomer, used to be a track official and safety guy.
Yeah.
And he still talks to me about this to this day, so if he pays attention or not.
Yeah.
But
that's who actually I want to bring on is someone like a paramedic from the ambulances to talk to them.
He jumped in the car with me. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I couldn't answer him. All he said is he could see the whites in my eyes, but I couldn't. I knocked the wind out of me so hard I couldn't breathe. Like it wasn't coming back, and I was in like panic mode of breathe. And then it finally got an air, and you're like in pain. You're like, okay, I need. Once your bell ring and it slows down, you're like, okay, well now I gotta try and get out of here. And I went to take the neck restraint off, and I broke the neck restraint in half. And I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's violent.
And then you're like, there goes money. And then all of a sudden you're like, all right, well I gotta get out of the car because the mom's watching, and I swear to God, she's probably tearing down the fence on the other side. If not, she's gonna be here in a minute.
Yeah.
And then you when you climb out of a hard wreck like that really messes you up. It takes you a little bit to get you.
Yeah, get your breath back and your thoughts.
You feel like Ricky Bobby, where man, are those other cars? And you're like, you're okay.
Yeah.
It's like you gotta work through your scared.
Get back on the horse.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, as soon as you can. So. Do you remember? Well, do you remember your first laps in a race car? These are my questions I have for everybody, so it's just funny.
I hate you.
We just talked about it.
I think the first laps I made in the mini sprint, it didn't go well because it was an electrical nightmare of doom in the mini sprint. It was like we go out and then something be wrong, so we get it fixed. Then we go back out and there'd be something else wrong. It's like, and being so novice to racing, especially them things at the time, they had clamped down wings on top. So I ran a feature, and the wing fell flat, and then it went the other way. So I was pulling the car up. I'm like, boy, this drive's horrible.
Oh, man.
You feel like you're taking off here.
Yeah. Well, what they say is if you put the wing on the other way, it creates lift. So that works.
It was work, except I wanted the downforce, not the lift.
Yeah, we need to. Man, it'd go like hell down the chute. But man, when I got to the corner, no grip, black ice. Where do you want racing to take you?
Where do I want racing to take me?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think racing has taken me as far as I wish to take it.
Okay.
I still wish to do more and go to more tracks and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And once we get the 604 solved with my modified, I'm going to try some more of these IMCA tracks.
Nice.
Because my grandfather's quitting this year.
Oh, okay.
This is his final ride tour.
Final ride. Is he making shirts?
No, he should, but
he should. We
60 years going in circle, and he doesn't make shirts.
Has he ever had shirts?
Huh?
Has he ever had shirts?
Yes.
Okay.
My wife did shirts one time for him.
Okay. You need to get some shirts made with the final tour, and I mean it sucks. It's August, and then August.
No, we should have thought of that.
Yeah, earlier. That would have sold out instantly.
I'll flip a sprint car.
Ian Steer, previous guest on the show. I'll flip a sprint car again before I crash a motorcycle. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think Ian's made of more nuts and bolts than he is his own body parts anymore. But he was always a big help of why I even went fast. It was him and his dad really with the Branham's help, and then Ian and Donnie took my racing to far greater things than I ever thought I could. So, thank you, Ian.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're paying attention.
Yeah, Ian. His son. So if you guys follow the vlog and you see Ethan Steer come up, this is Ethan's dad, Ian. And Ethan is no slouch.
No, he's
kind of impressive. like 2 nights in the car qualifying 8th the first night and then 6th the second. That's like, oh, okay, like all right, like you got potential, kid.
Well, he's got his dad's genes. That's for sure.
Yeah. That apple fell and did not roll. That stayed right there. All All right, so we'll get into some little more personal questions here, so our listeners get to know you. What do you do for work?
Well, I work for the city of Lake Geneva in the public works sector. I'm the poor clown that cuts down trees and maintains trees.
Okay. On the lake, I'm assuming, or like through the whole city?
Through the whole city.
Through the whole city, okay.
Yeah, I'm a certified arborist by trade.
Nice, okay.
So
do you climb trees too? Or do you just like cut down and
I do climb trees,
okay.
but I am a big bucket baby, as they like to call it in the tree industry.
Okay.
So I like to lift myself into the tree, and then we have another guy that's completely opposite, where he likes to climb trees. He thinks the bucket's unsafe, and I think it's the other way around. I don't want to be hooked to the tree I'm cutting.
Yeah. It's sprint cars, and Ashley here, does he work at the mansions?
No, I do not. So we are only based off of the city-owned right-of-ways.
Okay. So why would someone call you out to work?
So in front of your house, where a sidewalk typically would go, the city owns an easement, depending on how many feet into your yard or whatever.
Gotcha. Okay.
6 to 8 to a ridiculous amount of feet into your yard.
Okay.
Well, if there's a tree there, that's ours. Or in sense of it's Lake Geneva's tree. So they have to technically maintain that tree.
Oh.
So.
Gotcha. So if that tree's like growing up into the power lines or something, they call you out to do some of that stuff or take stuff down.
Take down broken stuff sometimes.
You do side work. Yeah, take your talents offline. Why, Autumn?
She's got something.
She's got something. She's got something.
Yeah, sometimes I do side work and stuff like that. Hey, that's how I afforded my new AC on my house.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Traded removing 3 trees for a whole brand new AC system in my house.
Okay. Nice. That's really cool. What do you do outside of racing besides cutting trees and horsey stuff?
Let's see. What do I do? Oh, I'm a loser. No.
We have winners on our shows.
Yeah. I'm a winner in my heart. If I can't win the show, I'm going to be the show.
Exactly. It's a great motto.
Yes.
It's a great motto.
So, what I like to do in my free time is I got 2 kids that I love very dearly, is Colton and Savannah.
Okay.
And Colton, I just bought him a racing kit cart. I have to finish putting it together, but once we get going, I'm going to try and get him going at Badger.
Nice. Very good kart club.
I used to be there too for a smidge.
A smidge? What years?
Long time ago.
Well, I was there a long time.
2013 or 14.
13 or 14. Okay.
And I wasn't there very long because I started with a Honda box stock, and that wasn't really like they let you run, but that
wasn't competitive.
It wasn't Briggs and Stratton. It wasn't their specific one.
Yeah.
So then I ended up going racing at Sugar River.
Yep, because they're Hondas. Yep.
Yes, and it was just a whole big thing. And then
might as well ran on dirt with a cart there because my dad raced there and he's like, it's rough.
It's rough.
Yeah.
But it's fun though.
Yeah.
You get some sort of coping skills. I would have to say you have to take.
It's great for a ruddy track.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. Maybe the cart handles a little bit better.
Maybe. Yeah. More shocks. Yeah, stuff like that.
I guess what else I do is I do iRacing.
iRacing. Nice. We have some iRacers out there. What's your tag?
Morgan Sheppard.
Morgan Sheppard. Nice. Apparently Derek Crane was taken, so I had to be Derek Crane 02.
You losers.
I am a loser. But if I was
I didn't say you're a loser. That guy's probably like...
Yeah. If I was 2 more Derek Cranes, I could have been Morgan Sheppard.
Well, you could have added your middle initial, and then you could have been yourself.
Yeah, no. I'm not Joe B. Miller, okay?
I'm just saying you guys need to bring back the iRacing series in the wintertime that I missed. I missed with the Wingless.
Oh.
You guys did that Wingless
thing, in 2020?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I missed my opportunity to not shine.
Not shine. Or shine. Because we don't know how good you are.
No. I still can't drive one of those non-wing sprint cars in that game. So.
Dude, it's ridiculous. Like the things you do to the car on the game if you like, it's like
don't do that. No, it doesn't make any sense at all.
And it's like, I get it because like dirt changes, so like I think iRacing is the best platform.
Yeah.
Because even the Tony Stewart like console games, like the track doesn't change all that much, but the iRacing, like the track does change. However, it never gets ruddy or curb.
They changed it now.
They changed
it. The dirt side of things gets ruddy now.
Nice.
The track dynamic is changing.
Okay.
And they're about to change it again for whatever knows.
Probably big curb. You know, the Kokomo curb into the wall. Yeah, let's get there.
Well, they could put a cushion in it.
Yeah. They could put a
real cushion would be kind of cool.
Yeah, lay on that thing. Yeah, get tight, bike. Yeah, I actually got rid of the iRacing stuff because I get nauseous from it. Like, I can only do like 10, 15 minutes in it.
Really?
And then I start to get sick because everything that's telling me is like, we're sliding. But my butt's like, we are stationary.
Oh,
and you start to like, okay, I'm getting...
Were you on the VR stuff?
No.
Oh, wow, that's bad, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I
tried the VR stuff and it's cool, but man, you can't stick with it. I couldn't stick with it long enough.
Start looking at stuff. Oh my goodness. I insta here, could you trim my bush? Yep. Do you do bushes?
Well, only irons.
Only irons. Wow, you're special, iron. Oh, man. Out here, we have some trees growing between the fence and the garage that are growing up into the lines. She's in Kenosha.
No, nice.
Yeah, that sounds fun. How did he pick his kids' names? Quick conversation about picking baby names, please. Why?
Well, you take a roll of dice, and then you just throw it out the window, and that's how you pick a baby name. Because we had names, and me and my wife fought for days and weeks and months about baby names, and then you really find when you have a kid of how many people you dislike.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know that name.
No. You know, it's just like, you're like, no association. Yeah. And both my kids, it was one of those things that we popped together, and it was, you knew you had the right one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So kind of like buying a house, like your house, like you
look at
and you're like, no, I don't like this one, but when you both walk in, you're like, yeah, this is it.
This is the right one, and you'll like click once you figure it out.
Nice. Yeah, we haven't been fighting, but like there's been like names where I'm like, what about this name? And she's like, no, and I'm like, okay.
And go right out the window.
Yep, not gonna fight that one. And she's like, what about this name? I'm like, no. He fed me a right rear like 3 years ago. No right rears were fed. No, I'm just saying. Oh my goodness. All right, so I'm gonna skip the last question. No, let's do it real quick. What's your favorite sport outside of racing?
What's my favorite sport? So if I have to say my favorite sport outside of racing is baseball.
Baseball?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was not my favorite thing. And my wife and her family were big into baseball, and
kind of sucked you in. And
yeah, it kind of sucked me in, and they're complete polar opposites.
Yes,
they are. One likes the Cubs, one likes the Brewers, and
okay.
So it gets pretty violent, and then we go to games together.
Yeah. I'm on the Brewers side, so
yeah, me too.
Okay, all right, good. I'm about to say, end the show now. No.
We're on the right side of the border.
Yeah.
Sorry for you people on the south side.
Yeah, I mean, Cubs, so intimidating. Yeah.
You know,
drunks are violent. Could be violent, so that's kind of an intimidating name. All right, so we're going to go into our first topic here, which is just a little bit about Morgan Sheppard's season this year so far. Presented by Next Gen Pumps, veteran-owned, American-made, warranty like no other. If you need some pumps or tires, check out Tom Brown, Next Gen Pumps in Silver Lake. All right, so I did a little research, obviously, before the show, and I was like, oh, buddy.
Can we just forget about it?
So you go to the points page, and it tells you how many features you start, right? And I was like, one, and I'm like, but he's been there every week.
It's not without trying.
No, it's not
without trying.
So you're 23rd, which obviously, you have a shot.
Your shot!
Still have a shot.
Hey, can we go back to that boat anchor? Because I think I'm the one that's got it. It's somebody else's turn to carry it.
Yes. So what Morgan is referring to is one of our Benchy Awards that's going to be in November is Throw the Anchor Award, which is the person that lost the most spots over the course of the year.
modifieds are not in this deal.
So that's the other thing too.
Because somebody better pull the rope here soon.
Because then I was like, do I do like the most of every class, or do I do the highest in every class? I think I can make a lot of enemies that way. So yeah, no. So
it might be a fun gamble though.
It would. I'm gonna.
There might be some humorous people.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the bottom of the list. And I'm just laughing my way through this.
Yeah, and that's one of the humor awards. Like, we're not expecting anybody to be like, yeah, I got that. It's just funny. So May 11th finished 7th in the heat. Did not start. May 18th, 9th in the heat. Didn't start the feature. August 3rd though, that was your night.
Yeah.
Finished 6th in the heat, but then DNF.
Yeah, I started dead last in that. I made it all the way up, and that track was very dry slick that night.
Mm-hmm.
And the modifieds, you guys, if any of you are listening, you guys need to clean that up because that was a terrible showing. I can't.
Who do you think you are, the Wisconsin Wingless?
But no, I went forward and I went all the way to the back, and with 3 laps to go, I was like, well, what do I got to lose? So I threw it to the outside and just threw caution to the wind. I'm like, well, I'm either going to eat it and go off the track, or I'm actually going to make something happen. And the car hooked up great on the outside. It motored on by. And then I went charging into 3, and I hit the brakes. And it was like the one little slimy part going into 3 that stays that weird little, I don't know what you call it, right where you set.
And it's like got a little curb. But then it's snot.
And the car went straight, and I'm like, here we go. And I thought I was going
new turn 3 wall.
Well, I did not get it, so I got it rotated back around, and I drove past, I think, 4 cars to make it up to 6th.
Okay.
And then the feature rolled off.
That was all in a heat race. Wow.
Yeah, that was in a heat race. I went from forward to backwards to if we wanted to talk about that race, it was like a demolition derby, like Wreckfest or whatever you want to call it, because there was sheet metal panels flying everywhere. Mm-hmm. All these guys were so worried about the bottom that they were shoving each other into the tires.
Wow.
Like forcing a guy to eat the tire. I'm like, come on. And that's why I'm like kind of babying, and I'm like, all right, I'm already having a rough go. We blew a trailer tire. We rolled in late. It was just, I was just going to make it worth whatever it was going to be worth as it was.
Yeah.
And it worked out. It just didn't work out in the feature.
That's August 3rd, so that's the night that I've referred to fight night at Wilmot, because a lot of people were fighting. Bandit drivers, Wing 604 guys were fighting, Wingless guys were fighting. Verbally and physical. Yeah,
there was some in the modifieds that were getting pretty close.
Yeah. But I mean, that was your best night. You made laps in the feature.
I made laps in the feature, and something on the track ripped the brake line off the rear end, and went through 1 and 2, and I felt loss in brake pressure. I'm like a little bit. I'm like, okay, maybe they're getting hot.
Yeah.
Because I had full rear brake in the car, and the car was not. I tightened it up too much. I was hoping that it was going to be more slick off when you guys were done with your feature, and it didn't.
No.
For some reason, mine stayed tight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd go into the corner, and it would sit down, and instead of turning into the corner, it would just drive straight.
Yeah.
It'd be great if it was slick.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Because it would rotate around, but it didn't. So I was losing ground going into the corner because I couldn't get the car to rotate around. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I was going hot into 3, and I stepped on the brake and went all the way to the floor. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. And it goes flying up on top. Well, at that point, I couldn't slow it down. So I was like,
you got to go.
So I had to go back. I went back into the field down the front straightaway and went off. And the motor was like on a charge. That it just was thundering into the pits, and I couldn't get it to whoa up. I'm like, I'm going to have to shut it off. Just just turn the ignition off. And let it.
And
until it's just somebody pushed me back then.
Yeah. And then the fair night, 9th in the heat race, but DNF. So just a very, if you didn't have bad luck, you'd have no luck.
Yeah, maybe, I'll just keep burning up this bad luck, and sooner or later I might.
Next year, you'll have all the good luck.
I might.
Gotta stay positive.
I can't disclose some information, but I had some people reach out to me that I'm gratefully appreciated for, but they want to kind of stay unknown, but they're big into modifieds, and they want to get my program they want to get the car set up correctly and help me get ahead.
Yes. Thank you, anonymous people. We as race car drivers, we do really appreciate it.
It's one of those things that it's like, don't say nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I appreciate you. So
yeah.
So hopefully next year it'll be a better season.
Same thing was from you, that lead about when I was like, oh yeah, I want to try to modify. That was that lead. So nothing's set in stone, but I'm hoping. And then, do you race anywhere else besides Wilmot with the 04 car?
If it would run more than heat race at this moment, it's just comical at this moment.
Yeah.
To just laugh about it, but I'm not giving up.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel sorry for those that do, but I'm not going to give up.
Yeah.
And I might run in the back, but I'm having fun. That's the point.
Yeah.
And sooner or later, I'm going to get back on my horse here and figure out what we need to do, and we're going to get this right. And I'm hoping that the crate motor is going to have a little more longevity out of it. Because when we went IMCA, they went to a hydraulic lifter, and we've had nothing but nightmares with our open motors. I've never, like last year I didn't have any problems with our roller cam motors, and now with these flat tappet motors, they're like, oh, the cams are junk. And then they destroyed motors.
Yeah.
It's like, I went on the first night, we did everything that that crane cams told us to do to break in this cam. We did everything. We sat all night, let it idle up for 20 minutes in high idle or whatever they asked.
Wow.
And just to break it in. And we go to the track and it doesn't, it
just doesn't work.
No, it broke, it literally shaved the lobes off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just a nightmare.
That sounds fun. Dirty D. What up, Dustin?
Dustin Holland.
Yep. You had a pretty good night.
You got Shay.
Yep. What's up, Shay? Love pitting next to you over the weekend. That was fun. Always fun. It's nice to see. So that's the car owner that Nathan drives for the midget.
Oh, okay.
It's nice to see someone as nervous as me watch Nathan race a midget.
Well, good, because Nathan comes around and he's shirt off and he's just to the wall.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys, sometimes I wonder if you two are actually family on some things. It's like
we are
the senseful and then the reckless.
Yes. Yeah. Alan, it sounds like an MSA motor, probably about the whole cam thing. But to me and Nathan, when people that have seen one of us racing, they're like, "Why is the other brother racing?" We're like, "We're just different. We are different." Like if you want jazz hands, that's Nathan. I am not jazz hands. I am the drummer. I will keep a tempo and I will stay at that tempo. Maybe I'll speed up if I'm feeling cute, but no, I gotta lay the tempo down when I race. And Nathan's just jazz hands, down bottom, goes 4 wide, 3 wide, 2 wide. He'll just do everything he wants.
Shay's just looking at the money going out the door on his his little. You got a Honda in that one or whatever?
Yeah, I think it's the Honda. Yeah.
Probably just screaming.
Yep, Shay.
24.
Yep, he held that thing to the floor and the wall all night. Yes, he did. The heat race.
Shay's looking through his fingers like, is he gonna make it or is he gonna break it?
The heat race when he got over in the fluff and it looked like he motor stalled it. I'm like, oh no, and he was like third, and I'm like, please no one hit it, but he got it going. He got it going again, so
good.
That was fun. All right, so we're going to our topic, our other topic here, presented by Paulman Auto. If you need a new car or new to you car, check out Paulman Auto. They got 3 locations in Kenosha and 1 in Racine. Wilmot Championship predictions. So I'm going to run through all those classes, the 6 Wilmot classes, and just who has a mathematical shot with how many races are left. So first one, super easy, lightning sprint. 1 race left.
Ooh,
you got Strain Jr., Brian Strain Jr. leading, Mark Heiner 6 behind, and Petska 8 behind. And Mark just won.
Mark did won. But in my opinion, with racing with Nick Petska, you can't count that man out.
No.
He's, especially when he's on a mission, he's going to. Holland is this.
How dare you? It's an 81 Honda.
We're not talking about Honda Shadows here.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, you can't count out Nick Petska because you put him in a car of some sort. He's a wheelman.
Yep.
So is Heinrich, but I think in my picks of within racing both those two, I think Nick Petska might edge him out for it.
Might steal it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Strain is just he's been too good all year. Like, I don't want to even say anything, but like it would have to be.
He's gonna come back.
It's gonna come back.
It's on your podcast.
You know,
I'm gonna get you now.
It's not gonna be his mistake. Let's just say that. I think Mark Heinrich. There we go. Found something at Wilmot, and so I'm just like, I think Mark could steal it. I think Mark could steal it. I mean, I would all three of them. I'd love for any of them to win.
Well, yeah, they're all three fabulous drivers.
Yep.
And Mark is no slouch. You know, he pushes just as hard as anybody. But if Nick Petska would be still who I would choose to.
Yeah.
And I could be very wrong, but I'm still going Nick Petska. I'm
going
down with that option.
Awesome. All right, let's go. So I went Heinrich and Morgan went Petska. All right, Wingless. 2 races left at Wilmot. You got Chris Klump. And again, sorry, the points aren't updated from Saturday yet. So some of these are going to be a little bit different. I should point that out as well.
Yeah.
Alan Hafford went Strain. Thank you, Alan. If anyone
he wants
comment.
He wants to be the third one. We should have just invited him to put him on the show.
Yep. Again, that was a very fun show too. With Vanderveer. So these points are a little bit different, and then also comment who you think can steal or win the championship with 2 races left. All right, Wingless have 2 races left, points races. Klemko's leading it. Civia's 18 behind. First Seth 22 behind. Egan 33 behind, and Radar 44 behind. The only reason why I put Radar in there was because, again, like I said, the points weren't updated from last weekend yet. He won. Klemko finished second.
Yeah.
But Civia DNF'd, Egan DNF'd, and First Seth ran 3rd or 4th. So I'll go first on this one. I think Klemko is gonna get it. I know people are gonna say, "Well, you're sucking up," but I don't. He's
wait a minute. Are you writing out Cook's house? Did Tyler fall out of it?
He is 48 behind.
Is he 48 behind?
Yeah. All so right, anyone that's super near 50. I mean, there's only 2 left.
Yeah,
too.
he's out.
Yeah. Like all 5 of those guys have to DNF both nights, or at least one of the nights, and yeah. So I'm gonna go Klemko. I would love First Seth to win it, but Klemko is just too consistent right now.
I was going to say Klemko too, but I would like to see Cook's house get in there, but he's a little too far out of it.
In the series points, I think he's a lot closer. I think that points battle is a little bit closer, as in because there's still 6 races left or something.
Throughout the whole thing. But for Wilmot's side of things, right?
Yep. All right, so I went Klemko. And Morgan went Klemko. We'd love to see First Seth. I mean, we'd love to see any of them, but like First Seth again, Rookie of the Year and then win a championship. That'd be pretty good.
Pretty wild.
Yeah. Street Stocks. They have 2 points races left. You got Blake Cruiser. Got to remember which one's which. Blake Cruiser leading it. Robbie Olson -6. Rob Olson -9. Dirty D -11. Brandon Murtis -16. And then Kalenka and Newberry -18. So that's still kind of there.
Yeah, there's still a hat draw.
Yep.
Cruiser's been on a mission this year.
Yep.
But Dustin found some speed, and you can't. It's like a blanket with those guys. Just watching them.
Yeah.
You know, all the cars are in a pretty good matchup of horsepower, speed, setup wise. They're all the same. They almost have to move each other just to get somewhere.
Yeah. Because Cruiser's been good, really good, solid all year. You know, I wasn't expecting both Olsons.
Yeah, that's.
But you know, I'm gonna actually, you know, Dirty D. When he figures it out, he's gonna be flying. But I'm gonna say
second in points.
Second in points. Okay. Let me see if they updated. Let me see if it finally updated.
Now we gotta rechange our numbers here.
Yeah, seriously. No, it's still as of the fair. Yeah, still as of the fair. Okay. So, or is he saying Dirty D saying he's gonna get second in points? Ooh, yeah. It's still a first. But
he's on a roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Brandon Murtis. I think Brandon Murtis is gonna steal it because the one night that the Wingless wasn't racing, I went to Wilmot and watched. He came from the tail and was gonna win it, and then had a flat tire, but he still finished I think third or fourth or something like that. So I think Brandon Murtis, and not only because he's gonna be the next guest on the show, but I think he can do it.
I too was gonna say Brandon Murtis.
Brandon Murtis.
Dustin being hot, he's very good. Always support you, Dustin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, he did the math. That's what it is. Okay, so he's second. Oh my goodness.
And he's in it to win it, but I still think if Brandon can keep a cool head, because when Brandon loses his head, is when he starts driving over his head, and that he drives himself right out of the car. In my opinion, and Brandon, you're watching. I'm sorry, but we pit across from you. We watch enough times.
Oh man! All right, and then Daryl Furseth, who is Tristan's dad for the Wingless. We can't. It's either dizzy or carb problems every dang night.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not alone here, except I'm 3 motors into the season, and I'm ready. We're trying a 604. So
all right, let's go. 604s are not bad.
No, and I originally bought it for the non-wing car I bought, and then I sold my non-wing car to Olson.
Why'd you get rid of it? Just because?
It was just, I don't think that was the right call at the right time.
Yeah. Modifieds are a bit safer too.
Well, yeah. I wanted to try it. That was the thing. I had it, and then it wasn't. It was a triple X chassis, and Olson gave me a good deal and sent it on its way with him.
All right, halfway through here, modifieds, which have tied with the most points races left. You got Joel Crowbridge leading the points. Mueller 9 behind, Wittenberg 12 behind, Kidrowski 13 behind, and Jason Worth 15 behind. Now this is your class, so I will definitely let you go first. What you're thinking about? Ouch. Yep, Shay's
I'm crying.
Sad.
Yeah, so and Dustin, you know how much the pocketbook hurts, and you just gotta keep fighting it and keep working that overtime. It's just hoping the best and stuff.
Yep. Shay, but this motor's still alive. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. That's a win. So
finish the season strong, so the winner doesn't hurt.
Yeah. So as for my pick for the modifieds, I'm picking Mueller. Mueller.
Okay.
Joel is great. He's very consistent. He's fast, but Mueller is a force to be reckoned with, no matter where that man goes. He's like a caution to the wind, but he can get it to hook up and back up what he says. Yeah. And he's smart. And both of them are smart in their own ways, but it's a good battle, and they put on a great battle the last time the modifieds ran. If Mueller didn't run into lap traffic and the car broke in front of him going into the corner and sent him off the corner, he would have won the last feature. So it would have been
even closer.
It would have been even closer.
Yeah. Mueller. My heart says Kidrowski just because he got wrecked, so that would be nice for him to win. Man. My heart says it, but my brain is also going to go with Mueller.
I would love to say Kidrowski too. He's very hungry this year, more than he's ever been.
And we're talking Terry.
Yeah,
Terry Kidrowski.
Yep. And Terry Kidrowski is very hungry this year. He's very on it. His dad's with him on it. I think that night of crashing the car kind of set that car back.
Yeah.
A little too far.
But I mean, he's only 13 behind. So
no, he's coming back. But yeah, I think that is plaguing him a little bit. That the car is a little more bent up than it should be for him to be.
And they still have 3 races left too. So that's why this is the one that. Well, there's one more class which we'll end it with. That has 3 races left. But so we both go for Mueller. Okay, perfect. Bandits only got one race left.
Yeah.
And we got Tiny Horse Johnson leading the points. Ryan Andrews, and again, this is before Ryan Andrews won Saturday, but he was 10 points behind. Craig Cruiser, 12 points behind. McKellips, 15, and Orth, 16.
I didn't realize that was Craig in that car.
That's what's on the Wilmot.
Okay, all right. Well, it could be. I'm not that. I try to keep in my own lane.
Yeah. Well, so okay, if I see a Bandit car, I can go, oh, that's Ryan Andrews. You could be like, you could introduce me to Ryan Andrews without saying his name. I'm like, who are you?
Yeah.
Like I know names with the car.
I know the car.
Yeah.
Not the person that's with the car.
Exactly. So yeah, Craig. Yeah, I don't know I couldn't tell you what he looked like, but he looks really fast on the car, on the track.
But I'm going Andrews.
But
I might be a little biased though because I've known him for many years and stuff like that, and he's very into his racing stuff, to getting it up to speed, faster. He's trying new stuff, but you can't count Tiny Horse out. That is a really hard one.
Yep.
Because he wants it really bad. He's consistent every night. Because, of course, I'm one of the fanboys that sits in the stands and still watches the four bangers run.
Yeah.
Because they deserve respect like the rest of us. They're putting the time and their effort in.
Yep, they starve just like us.
So
and honestly, like I've said for, I don't know, probably a year and a half, 2 years now, if you can just get past that they're not going 100 miles an hour into the corner, they put on some of the best racing that you will see anywhere.
Or you see the car, Tiny Horse got jacked up.
Yeah. And he came back.
It's like if you did that to a modified, you maybe come back. In the non-wing car,
you're done. If you get the bladder, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no. So like, yeah, all right. So you're going Andrews. All right, I'm gonna go. I'll go Tiny Horse just for like that's.
It's
you know though, McKellips is running really good too now in the Hot Wheels car.
Yeah,
he's got a feature win this year.
He's there, but I don't think he's
he's
not as consistent as he.
Yeah,
and I shouldn't even be talking because I have no consistency.
Yeah, no, you can talk. It's good for ratings. It's good for ratings. Yeah, no, yeah, okay. No, I'll stick with Tiny Horse. I think Tiny Horse. With one race left, so it's gonna be one of those where Tiny Horse and Andrews, whoever finishes ahead, I think that's who's going to be the champion, so that'll be cool. Autumn here, we need a picture dictionary. Yes, I am 100% on Wilmot, making sure that next year they get a program, which would be good for memberships. Like if you're going to buy a membership, you get a free page of like a picture of your face with your car and whatever you want to put down for like stats of what you did.
That'd be kind of cool.
That would be very cool.
Do you remember a long time ago Wilmot did hero cards? Mm-hmm. They actually did trading cards.
That would be,
My grandfather was on a trading card. He had a picture of your car, and then on the backside was a picture of the stats with your face. And they did trading cards.
Dude, you could do like for every
I don't know
kid.
if the grandparents have them hiding somewhere, but we had trading cards.
Mind blown, because you could get 100 of each driver, and then just make random bundle packs. So like every time you show up, you might have a duplicate. You might not.
Exactly.
That would be so cool. That would be cool. All right, and then the last class here is the Wing 604s with 3 races left. Tommy Sexton's leading it. CJ Malik is 3 points behind, and Greg Olson is 12 points behind. The person after that, I think, is like 50 behind. So it's
he's way out of it. I was looking myself, and I was like, "No, you're not coming back."
No, too much. So Sexton has a feature win, or let me be professional.
Yes,
here.
I think he does.
He has two heat race wins, a feature
and one
win.
Feature win, yes.
But Malik has 2 feature wins.
Okay, CJ, I remember racing him in the mini sprints fast. You know, him and his dad have got it figured out. And Olson is great, you know, and he's gotten his stuff figured out, and he's a wild man in himself. But Tommy Sexton, you know, you can say whatever you want. The man could do it with a big motor. He can do it with a small motor. He can do it with whatever. And you could probably do it with a horse and buggy, and then...
I mean, people don't realize this. He ran one night in a non-wing car for Todd Lear in 2016 and won that feature. So he can do it in a non-wing car.
I was going to wear my Todd Lear shirt.
You should.
I thought about it, but I ran out of time, so I was stuck in my work attire. I was like, I could have a Todd Jet Lear shirt.
Yeah,
yes.
I got the Jet Lear shirt too. So Sexton has 1 feature win. CJ has 2 feature wins, but Olsen does not have a feature win. Well, he's only 12 out. So now I'm like, man, if Olsen could pick up a feature, well, no, he needs to win 2 features at least. If he can win 2 features, I think he can win the championship.
You realize how tough that is in general. You know as well as I do, you put a wing on those non-wing cars, it's a totally different animal.
It is.
And a lot of guys that are wingless drivers that I talk to that I'm friends with are struggling when they put the wing on the car. Now they can't get them to handle.
Yep, totally different driving style too.
It's a totally different animal.
Like when you drive a non-wing car into the corner, you should not, especially during qualifying, you probably should not be seeing the corner. And if you do that with the wing car, you're going through that opening at victory lane. Because that's how early you have to set the car.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
Right? So like, oh, man.
Modifieds are the same way. You have to turn them, and you better be pointing where you want to be, because if you're not, you're going to have a bad time.
That's some information.
You have to slide into the corner, and if the car is not pointing to where you want to exit off the corner, you're going to have a fun, terrible time wrestling it to get to that point.
Yeah. Okay.
And if my car ever runs, maybe I'll let you let you hot lap the thing.
I will.
I'll let you.
Do you mind starting in the back? Like way.
I've done it before. I can do it again.
Yep. Holland, Dirty D says Sexton. Sexton's got so much of experience.
That man is a real man.
I think that I mean CJ is too.
CJ is too, but
that's so tough.
It's like the kid versus the wizard.
Because we're going back to my stats real quick here for just who wins the most heat races and passes and stuff. So CJ Malik has the most passing passing points in the class. Yeah. But Sexton's second.
Yeah, it's it's one of those blanket fights again. Yeah. Both of them can go in there. It's all how the night goes. Yeah. And you make you're trying to beat the guy and you ruin your night. You're gonna ruin your chances.
And then he just got married too, so now you have to deduct a second a lap. Because that's the first couple races after being married. Yeah. No. All right. I'm gonna pull the trigger. I'm going the league.
That is a good choice though.
Yeah.
I've raced with Malik, and it's like I know all 3 of them, so it's like it's a gamble of which one to go.
And I'm surprised a little bit that BK's in 4th, Brian Kirsten is in 4th, and I'm a little surprised that he's that far back. But I do remember that one of the nights he got caught up in someone else's wreck, so that's gonna hurt your points, and especially when Sexton is always passing cars, and the league's always. I mean, he won 2 features, and Olsen's really strong. It's gonna hurt you. So you said Malik?
No, I'm going Sexton.
You're going Sexton? All right.
I appreciate Malik and what he's doing, but I'm going with the old guy and with the knowledge and still got the wheelman skills.
Yeah. Oh yes, he's still
might be a little biased because back before I had a race car, I used to push at Wilmot. He was always one of the nicer guys to push off, Yeah,
because he would not flick you off for something.
Or,
yell at you, come back,
Or roost you off the start for no reason.
Yeah. Dude, this is my truck. What are you doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome, man. Well, this show went by really fast. This was a lot of fun. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. So, next week, it's Monday, Labor Day, no show. But some news might drop this week, so stick around for that. However, the next show, September 9th, we're going to have Brandon Murtis on, and there still should be, he's got another race. Or wait, I'm so professional. I gotta look.
Gotta hit the cheat sheet button.
Yeah, I got the cheat sheet and everything. Okay, so when Brandon Merce is on, we will find out if he won the championship because that'll be after the second race. So maybe have the street stock champion on.
Well, then I won't have to see him just in case if it doesn't work out. But
Yeah.
he's gonna go. Who was on the show? Who said what?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sometimes I'll give people hints like, "Hey, you might want to listen to this episode before you come on." Because some people are like very reserved, like they don't want to say anything bad. But then once they go back and listen, they're like, "Oh, that dude kind of dragged me through the water a little bit. Like I'm gonna just go back." Like, and we're like, "Oh, we're buddies, we've been buddies all our lives." And it's like, "Yeah, okay."
I'll take the heat from anybody. I've been at the bottom, been at the top, now I'm back on the bottom again.
Yeah. This is how racing works.
It's how it all works.
Yep.
So to go back to racing for me, so my car is currently out without a motor, but I will be racing the 03T modified this weekend for my grandfather.
Nice.
With our game of rock, paper, scissors.
You did win it. Let's go. Do you have to change seats? Or are you going to just...
Oh, we're just going.
We're just going?
Just going.
Hey, I figured out why I couldn't drive fast. Why? I was too snug in the seat.
Yeah.
My hips are...
It was too fitted for
Yeah,
this car.
yeah.
I'm probably going to need a booster seat because back when I was driving his old car, we never adjusted it up. So I sat on almost like a phone book.
Oh, my goodness.
We made a board to get the seat up high enough for me to see out the... Nice. In the modifieds, you're looking at like this, hood pins, nothing. It's not like...
It's almost like a truck. Like a big truck, right?
Right, and then there's an extra 4+ feet of bumper and, nose that you don't really pay attention that's there, but you better know it's there.
Yeah, you'll know it's there when you run into someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Okay, perfect. Because that was my next question. Was your next race? So you are running the last 3 races?
Running the one so far.
The August 31st.
Yeah.
August
so
31st.
Whatever this weekend is, I'm running the 03T modified for my grandfather.
Okay.
And hopefully I can outrun him in his own car.
Yeah, there's two jokes there. So if the car is really fast, you know why, or if the car is really slow, you know why.
Exactly.
Oh man.
He thinks it's fast. I told him that it sucks.
And
I told him that he puts too much throttle input into it, and he's spinning the tire. He's got.
Well, they're rock hard. You got to get heat in them.
But he's still a hell of a wheelman, so I shouldn't be knocking him too hard because it's gonna get me good when I get back.
You're gonna come back and he's like, "What happened?" Yeah, he smoked me in times all night in the car, everything. Awesome. Yep. So off Monday. Next show will be September 9th. Morgan's next race is August 30th at Wilmot Raceway, which again, professional because I have everything up and ready.
And we'll keep the racing page up to date with what our motor situation is.
Okay, yeah. So plug for your racing page.
Sheppard Racing on Facebook, or look up Morgan Sheppard and friend me on Facebook, and I'll gladly share it along. And we have some great sponsors this year that have followed us through the ends of time. And
who are those sponsors?
So we have the Dairy of Hebron. We got SM Designs, Women's Boutique, and Western Wear. We have Twigs and Branches Tree Service. Thank you, Jamie. RMJR, our semi-repair out of Kansasville. And we have Rural Mutual, Mitch Heath, great guy to work with. Dawson Express. We have System Designs that does lawn irrigation. Nice. Al's Machine Service, my grandfather does the motors and stuff like that. The Kenosha County Scanner page.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they came on and they're a great supporter too to the team. And I can't thank all these sponsors for coming on and Drifters Bar and Grill, out of Paddock Lake.
Yep.
I can't thank all these people enough that have continued with even the bad seasons that they're still here. They're still dumping money into my into my endless woes.
Yeah.
Let's go again.
Well, positive. Like you can only have so many woes before it's like, hey, there's no more woes to give. It's gotta be
exactly.
So why give up right at that end? And it's like, oh yeah, everything takes off.
So if it doesn't take off this year, I think when we get the 604 ready and we get this, get working on the car on a new setup and working with this other guy that does setups, we might be a force to be reckoned with. And we might be on the show looking at a different point of view.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back on for sure.
So hopefully I glow up instead of blow up.
You blow up instead of blow up. I love it. So if you want to check out Morgan this weekend racing at Wilmot, August 31st, it's the standard. Pits open at 3, gates open at 5 p.m., hot laps at 5:45, with racing starting at 6:45. Kids 12 and under are free. General admission for adults is $20, and pit passes is $30. And yeah, so check that out. And on the card, there is lightning sprints, street stocks, mods, and wing crates. So no wingless. So if I'm feeling cute, I think I'll go.
Dress up and come visit me.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you
I come
better
by
come rub my helmet or something.
Yeah,
Give me some good luck.
Yeah, come over and be like, hey, how you doing? I lost where I was going with that.
Right?
Yeah, I lost where I was going with that real quick. These garage beers are great. So our next race in the 59 car is going to be September 7th at Wilmot Raceway. Second to last night for Wilmot points. So that's the next time we're going to be in. That's going to be the next time we're in the 59 car. But like I said, wink, wink, hint, hint. Stay tuned for some news dropping. So we'd like to thank Next Gen Pumps, Pullman Auto, RevTech Manufacturing, Rouge Helmets, Ashley Bree Photography, Painters Plus, Bane Nelson, Jack's Helmet Designs, Pinnacle Media Productions, Daybreak Church, Mirror Image Coatings, Toro Tents, Hold My Beer Kenosha, Bricks and Minifigs of Kenosha, Wise Guys Barbershop, DC, and Kathy. So if you guys saw the buttons on our, I haven't actually done it on our Facebook, but I know my mom's posted, and a lot of people in the pits were asking for them. The Crane Racing buttons, Kathy made.
Oh,
Kathy
cool. I didn't even get to see it.
Yeah, they're like almost gone.
Well, jeez, What are you doing? You're hassling me about shirts and looking for a button.
Yeah, button. And our hats are almost gone too. So if you want one of the DC 59 limited edition, because the bills are all different colors, definitely hit me up. So David Crane, Kathy Crane, Jeremy Crane, and Kylie Crane. Special thanks to my beautiful wife Ashley, mom and dad Mark and Gail, big one fan Kyle, Nathan, Lauren Cooper, Hunter Ladders, Dave Schutzen, Elliot, Autumn, Jeffifa.
There it is.
Caught it, didn't drop it.
It's a new day.
It is my day. I caught it, I didn't drop it. And
is that the fun meter button?
That's the fun meter button.
That's Ian Steer's fun meter button.
Yep, and it's been to the max.
It's to the max.
Yeah, it's Ian, not Ethan. I was just like, wait, it's the wrong
No,
name.
yeah, it's Ian's.
It's Ian's. And then Caleb, my youngest brother, and he listens to the podcast through Spotify. So I always give him a secret word to see if he's listening, and he just randomly texts me that word.
So what's the secret word?
Secret word is it might be a phrase. Caleb, your secret word is Morgan better beat Grandpa. There we go. And thank you, David Crane. David Crane says thank you, or thanks for the shout out. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Kathy from Autumn. Just because of just everything. Like Circle City would not be as fun without David Crane there. So he's our sponsor in Indianapolis. So
very awesome.
Yeah. So awesome. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in and spending your Monday night with us. And have a great Labor Day. And we'll see you at the track August 31st and September 7th. Peace out, Girl Scout. And stop stream.